Good afternoon, all. My name is Puran, and I'll be your host for today. The pandemic has hit many educational institutions, and this has definitely disrupted the overall business operation. Now, the effect on students, you can say nearly 1.5 billion globally, as per UNICEF, is even more profound. And not only institutions or educators, it's the entire world who was not prepared to adapt to this change. And as your technology partner, we just want to play our part in discussing on this pertinent topic so that you can get a few insights which will help you stay agile and productive in these months and in the future. So in this regard, we present to you our topic, that's learning in post-COVID times, rethink student engagement with SAP HE&R. Um, so now let me give you a quick intro of who we are. We are, this is a webinar which we have collaborated with SAP. And I'll start with the introduction of YESH Technologies. YESH is a global technology consulting provider which is committed in helping customers align their technology and business strategy. And we have been serving some of the prestigious firms across US, UK, Middle East, and rest of the world. And Solstice Middle East is our division in the Middle East, and we are headquartered in Dubai and have been serving marquee customers across this region. Now, everyone knows about SAP, but still, let me tell you that SAP is the market leader in the enterprise application software field, and it has been helping companies of all sizes, irrespective of the industries, to run at their best. And when it comes to the higher education, so SAP enables higher educations to education institutes to integrate educational skills along at the same time realize the potential as an intelligent enterprise. So with this, let's have a quick look at the profile of our speakers for today. From YESH, we have Mr. Hussain Saab, who is working as a lead consultant within the higher education and research practice at YESH Technologies. We also have Sarath Pangnamula, who is our practice head for HER practice as well as success factor practice at YESH Technologies. From SAP, we have Mayor Salti, who is senior senior enablement and service engagement manager with SAP Middle East. And our panel is pretty much a experienced panel with 15 plus of experience in the field, and I'm sure that the insights they are going to provide on the topic are going to help us. Now, before I start off with our speaker, let me highlight few things. Due to this pandemic situation, I guess most of us might be connected through home. So if you are getting disconnected, don't worry, you can always reconnect using the same link. And for your information, this webinar is being recorded. We'll be sharing out the recorded session of the webinar in a day or so. We also have a question and answer session, and this is placed at the end of the main sessions. And if you have any question for our speaker, please feel free to send it through the Ask a Question tab at the bottom of your player. So without any further ado, I would start by welcoming Mayor. So Mayor, over to you.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, certainly.
Yeah,
please go ahead.
So I appreciate you investing the time despite the busy schedule. So thank you very much today and for coming today. And thanks to YESH and Solstice for hosting the event. SAP Enablement Solutions supports organizations, technical teams, and end user teams to achieve approximately around 10% saving on deployment times, and between 20 to 22, probably 60% on the reduction in support cost. Also, a 15% increase in organization satisfactions. My name is Mayer, and I'm part of the team that's handling the portfolio in this region, and that's the portfolio that we have. As you can see, we have different solutions for different audiences. And probably we need to focus today on the education journey. So please, can we move to that? Perfect, thank you very much. So as the team mentioned a bit ago, the pandemic is probably affecting 1.5 billion students around the world, according to the UNICEF. The education cycle, as we know it, has been changed and disrupted. COVID-19 forced campuses closures and distance learning on most educational institutions and students, including even my daughters. I have two daughters. Both of them I'm actually studying from home. Well, actually used to study from home until the end of the academic year, last June. I think probably a more resilient, elastic, and hybrid learning model is needed to support educational institutions at the moment to respond quickly to the challenges without compromising quality and still achieving the ILO, which is the intended learning objectives, especially with a potential of second wave of the pandemic that's happening or maybe going to be happening. Student rotations in classes, if we're going to implement that, because maybe they're going to talk about having different students attending the class every day, and probably enforcing social distancing among them, and the continuous government's guidelines updates. So I think the whole industry should look into probably a hybrid learning model. So I can see many schools and universities are leveraging their existing academic learning management solutions and video conferencing like Zoom and Microsoft Teams. So for example, my daughter is in Sabbath schools and they are using Microsoft Teams, and I can see her attending 6 hours a day of classes, which is, even for adults, I think it's just too much. So however, I think the institutions and students are still not having the best engagement between them. And my 9-year-old daughter is actually attending those classes, and I can see it, although the schools are trying their best to do so. But I think SAP solutions can assist, and that's where we come in the picture. Obviously, most of the organizations or the the school organizations at the moment, they will have their own learning management solutions. We also, as SAP, we have a couple of options there too. One of them is very quick one. So you can quickly adopt it and you can up and running in a few days. However, learning management solutions is just some sort of e-learning platforms. You will need probably some social learning platform too, where the students can collaborate and work together. And I'm not talking here about the Microsoft Teams portals or probably the Zoom's classrooms that you're creating. Well, I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about exchanging files on documentations, having a platform of connecting students to each other, not only within the class, but actually off the class too. Also, we missed a very important point, which is assessing the students. Yes, we delivered the classes. Yes, we provided probably e-learning platforms, but what about the assessments? What about the exams? Now, many schools and many countries and many governments are trying either probably to omit the final exams for last year and finding probably a solution of social distancing between the students when they come and do the exams on premise and stuff like that. But honestly, there should be some sort of an assessment solution there. Some schools already have something, but also we're talking about state-of-art assessment tool here. That tool is, can you, yeah, perfect, thanks. That tool is available on the web, on the mobile. That tool will secure completely the integrity of the exams and will give a complete set of reports and set of analysis for the students. Even report cards and coaching reports will be there. What I'm saying here is we have distance learning. We should have distance assessment too. And we should have proctored exams, not an exam that we just push the questions to the student's screen and that's it. We're talking about here proctoring, even with video proctoring and audio proctoring also. Great, perfect. So we have the assessments, but where do we get the content of those assessments or the content of that learning? You will need probably some authoring tools also. And last but not least, we will have probably the adoption. And that's the issue here. You probably can get the best solutions available in the market nowadays, but then maybe the students will find it difficult to use. Maybe the instructors will find it difficult to use. You know what? Let's not talk about students and schools and universities, and let's talk in general, us, the employees everywhere in any organization. If you are using your internal system and you need some help, we used to ask your colleague who's next to you, you're going to ask him, okay, how can I do that in the system? Today, you can't do that if you're working from home. Imagine the kids, they're working from home, they're studying from home. Imagine the instructors who are actually working from home, delivering classes from home, and they need some help in using the current systems or adapting to them. Well, what we're saying here, instead of actually asking a colleague or asking a classmate, the system itself responds directly and interactively, and it integrates completely with the solution, and it's proactive. I mean, what I'm saying by proactive, that if the school, for example, changes something, that changes will be pushed with a notification. Resembling F1, all of us, we know the F1 support, or if you are probably in your late 30s like me, you'll probably remember the Clippy from Microsoft Office, the small clip that used to tell you click here and there and there. So it's the interactive in application support of step-by-step, giving the where and when exactly within the application. And the best part about the whole thing is it doesn't have to be on SAP. So what I'm saying is our platform will not give you, that will actually give you the option to be flexible. You don't have to go through the full-fledged. If you have certain parts of that solution, you can complement what you have, because our platform or our solutions work with SAP and non-SAP, even including the adoption softwares. Next please. Yep. So from education journey, I think pretty much that's it. Of course, what I'm going to leave the stage to my colleagues from YESH and Solstice to take you or to walk you through the entire journey for today with that level of details. But I just wanted to say that it's like a puzzle. If you have a missing piece in the puzzle, we can fill it in. And the solution is take what you need. And I'm sure YESH and Solstice will complement what I've just said in a moment, and we'll walk you through the entire process. Thank you very much, YESH, and thank you again for all the attendees. I really appreciate the time.
Thank you, Maya. Continuing to what Mr. Maya said about the challenges that we faced during COVID-19 and what solutions that SAP has to offer for institutions to respond to those challenges. So we are going to present few solutions from our experience, which we think are hard-pressing needs for any institutions in these times. So let's look at a couple of solutions that are easy to adopt, quick to adopt, and which are the need of any institutions in these times. So a couple of key elements of any student life cycle is starts from the onboarding of the students, academics, and learning, and how they progress towards their in their examination, and then the exam and grading process and the reporting tools. So all these elements put together are compromise the student life cycle journey. So during this time, the focus is more on the learning and the exams, since the learning mode has been changed, which is more of a remote now, as students are studying at different parts of the globe. And we need tools and technology to facilitate that kind of learning. And we also need tools which will help the institutions to gauge the performance of that learning objectives. So without further delay, we'll look at the options or solutions that are available for these challenges. So one of the solutions that is there as an online education platform is a product, the SAP Litmos. So with SAP Litmos, the institutions can actually have a full-fledged learning management systems being offered not only students but its staffs, its support staff, administrators to monitor the content, to create the custom learning paths for students, and it can also be used as a e-commerce platform where some courses have been put up as a pay-to-study kind of courses, as well as student engagement is one of the most critical item when in terms of learning. So we also have feature of gamification where we create a competitive environment between students, so they can take the quizzes, tests, and gauge their performance on points. And from a faculty or instructor point of view, there are various kind of reports that are available to help track the student progress during the course of the time. So, and also system is a cloud-based system, easy to adapt, quick onboarding. So institutions can quickly adopt without a lot of time and effort in this solutions. So also it offers a instructor-led training mode where online classes, a virtual classroom can be created for students where students can provide feedback, ask questions. So it kind of gives a option for institutions to create a virtual classroom and have a similar environment of on-campus teaching using this tool. So once we have an online tool, we also need tools to create the content. Like mentioned earlier, we need to have a learning material which will facilitate, which is more of a self-learning kind of guided learning for students, where they know what to go next or what they have to take up next. So the Enable Now tool helps the administrator or the university institution so create that kind of a content with guided learning content, and it also helps the institutions to create a knowledge base, shareable knowledge base, and gives a feature of authoring, versioning, where it is very much needed feature for any university or organization in today's days. So once the digital learning content is tool is available, we also need a kind of a tool to where students can connect or collaborate. And SAP Jam is one such tool where students are connected as communities. They can post, they can stay updated about campus. Not being available on campus is a big gap for students where they feel lost at times. So with SAP Jam, it kind of a portal as well as a collaboration platform where they can share their coursework or any presentations, any paperwork that they're doing. And also it will allow the universities or organizations to create a culture of information sharing between students and staff. So it has a lot of facilities like publishing a blog, and they can have a wiki knowledge base where students can have a continuous connect with the universities. So this acts as a great online collaboration and teaching platform for students and staff. So so one of the most heart-pressing need of any organization today is how do they assess students and how it can be done digitally. So if we look at the conventional way, either it could be a pen and paper or it would be a closely monitored assessment in campus room or classroom. So with the situation right now, question mark is one such tool where it gives an option for universities or organizations to have an assessment tool where they can have different kind of surveys, assessments, tools, feedback, quizzes. So any such activity which is needed for students can be done on question mark and demand. while this can be done of creating questions and this thing, the important thing is how the students' assessment is monitored. So the record and review proctoring. So proctoring in one such tool where using the a webcam of a laptop or a computer, the system monitors the students real time. It captures the video, it monitors the computer activity, whether they are surfing some other sites to copy the answers, or any external noise that they are getting, or somebody is helping them from outside. So all these things, system has an intelligence to capture this data and report, automatically report any suspicious way of attempting a course. So, and also the system also monitors the keystrokes, the browser copy paste, if they open multiple tabs, and if there are any ambient noises. So proctoring is one such tool where the video details are captured and it is reported, and there are various reports, analytical reports available to the administrators where they can take this and analyze further. Okay, so the other tool is the signature management tool. The current situation has actually forced the universities, which the organization which traditionally work any approval process on as a physical document signing, or be it a transcript, be it any HR related, human resource related offer letters or employee letters. So which used to be a physical way of issuing letters. So the digital way of signature management allows the university to issue the digital certificates or documents which have a digital validity, be it student transcripts or any HR related documents. And it will also give a framework or a workflow based approval system where the different departments are updated on the document flow. So signature management is one of the critical tools for the universities today, which will help in mobile approvals, and it also has a robust compliance and security measures in place to replace the physical way of issuing documents. Okay, once we have the data available from systems, be it a question mark or a learning management or any system, we need to have a system which will tell how the system is being adoption, because adoption is the final final outcome of any system or technology that we deploy. So student activity hub is one such tool, analytical tool, which will help the universities to gather information of each student at various levels using that data. So the universities can gauge the student engagement and performance, and how are they engaged, whether any new courses that has been launched, how are students responding to it, are there any grievances from the students. So so student activity hub collects all data from different collects data from various social media or different data sources, be it social media or any student information system. It collects data, puts everything together, and it gives meaningful reports to the student administrator or success directors who can make sense of this data and then make informed decisions. So, and student, it can also help monitor the LMS activity. So learning management, whether students are really studying, what is the amount of time they are spending on the learning management system, or how much time they have spent on a specific course. Are they meeting the required number of hours on that course? So all these activities can be tracked using the student engagement or student activity hub tool. So for any organization, analytics is one of the, or the reporting is one of the core factors for the informed decision making, and analytics cloud is one such tool where the heads of the institution can use these reports to see how each department, or not only with respect to students but with respect to staff and support staff or instructors, what is the various reports in terms of finance, procurement, or human resource. So different reports can be taken in with respect to students. It can give the student headcount, what is the graduation report, what is the capacity utilization, what is the hostel capacity, how it has been done, what is year-on-year strength, whether they should increase the facility, decrease the facility. So a lot of meaningful reports have been pre-delivered with analytics on cloud, where universities can adopt this and quickly make sense of their existing data. So with this, I would just summarize all the solution details what we have. So for learning management, we have a Litmos tool. So Litmos is basically an e-learning platform which gives the option for universities or institutions to have an end-to-end learning management system, which has features of online course building, assessment, quiz, tracking the student progress, and they can also have various reports, feedbacks taken from the student. So it has a very faster onboarding time to deploy, is very fast. There's not much effort to adopt this solution, and universities or institutions can quickly move on to this cloud-based solution for learning. So the other one, what we saw was the Enable Now. So this is basically the digital content creation. The universities have a tool for content management, content creation, where they can create a meaningful content for learning management tool with the learning maps, learning tracks, and the with authoring and versioning options. And we saw a collaboration platform, SAP Jam. So SAP Jam allows the university students, staff, and administrators to connect, have a common place of collaboration. It can also act as it will give an option for students to stay up to date with university happenings, given that they are all remote now, and also have an option to share how things are, or publish anything that they are doing on the platform, share documents, exchange information, and create a collaboration environment. So the one of the important tool that we saw is the question mark on demand. So question mark basically gives an option for universities to have a digital assessment, powerful digital assessment tool, where they can have a lot of quizzes, assessments, feedbacks being conducted with having an option of proctoring video recordings and analysis. So the artificial intelligence tool that is inbuilt in that proctoring tool gives a report that will highlight all the exceptions that students have done, and it is a great tool for assessment, given that students are remotely studying now. And the other one that we saw is Student Activity Hub. The Activity Hub is basically collects all the student related data and gives a meaningful reports for making informed decisions to administrator, deans, or HODs on be it on the course or personal level of students. If they have any grievances, what is their feedback level, if they are not happy with some course. So it is about that. And we saw a signature management tool. So this is basically to operationalize the digital flow of the documents across functions in finance, procurement, and HR. And also with respect to students to issue any digital documents, be it transcripts or any exam dockets. So all these can be digitally signed and issued to the system. And we also saw the cloud analytics. So analytics is one of the most important tool today's days. So cloud enables the universities to have meaningful reports across functions from finance and procurement and HR, and they can have student related reports which will give them an option to make an informed decision. So these are the tools that which are very important in today's scenario to help with the COVID situation, especially when students are remote, and there is a need of a physical kind of an environment to be provided to students. So with digital tools or SAP platform, there are various tools available that will facilitate the digital learning and assessment, and the universities can continue to run the way they used to do on campus mode of learning. So with this, I conclude my presentation. I'll now pass on to Sarath, who will take you through the YESH and Solstice practice about HER.
Thank you, Hussein. Thank you very much, and very good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for taking time and joining this known webinar on COVID situation and how you can really revisit or probably review some of the key applications and how you can leverage the SAP platform to fill some of the gaps that we're currently experiencing during these odd times. And I need to start with a bit of excuse if there is any relay issue in terms of my voice, as everyone is working from home. So same with me here as well. And there's some disturbance of internet now and then because too many people are hanging on to the same internet, as my daughters are attending their classes right away. They're taking their classes, and two of my daughters are on this in the next room. Well, Hussein, can you move to the next slide, please? YESH is a group company, and we are founded in 1996. Primarily, we are IT services company with a lot of strategic business consulting base, and we are actually headquartered in Chicago, and we are acquired over our journey, more than 40 plus 500 Fortune companies, and then not only the customer's perspective, but we also acquired a number of companies that add value to our services standpoint. And in the Middle East region, Solstice is known for the SAP services they have been doing for more than a decade. And YESH acquired this company in 2015. So it is totally 100% owned by YESH Technologies, Solstice. And we continue to operate in the Gulf region as Solstice. And we also, you see there some names like SAP HE&R, Asia, Corient, and these are the other companies that are part of the YESH group of companies. Can you move on slide? So we are actually having a lot of recognitions and certifications. We are known for our good works in various places. And one of such things that I really like to highlight is the Great Place to Work. We have been continuously recognized as one of the best employer and Great Place to Work. What it means is that it talks about the positive energy of the employees, how they're associated with the company, and when they're emotionally bonded with the company, and of course the kind of the productivity and what they deliver, what they carry to the customer is something is really we can envisage that. So Great Place to Work is one of the body that actually based out of India. They actually review all the best practices across 1,000-odd companies, and they select only 50 companies as the best companies. YESH is continuously getting or sitting in that space. This is the 6th consecutive time that we have been awarded as a great place to work. So kudos to our employees. And similarly, we have also been recognized by Forrester, Gartner for various capabilities and the expertise that we have. And YESH has got a center of excellence. All our center of excellences are based out of India and US. And some of these center of excellences also includes the vertical specific excellence, which is also education is one of such expert COE that we have. And we are overall about 6,000 employee company with 40 different places, present in 40 different countries. And we have the kind of strong and matured alliances with SAP, and we are SAP Gold partner. We are also SAP AMS partner. We are also SAP's development partner. We work with SAP Development Center based out of Bangalore in India. So we have almost like 200 plus guys working in Bangalore. What it means is that SAP has got the lab which actually develops these solutions or enhancements and all that kind of stuff. So what it means is that YESH is partner in that means that we will have a first-hand access to the kind of solutions that are developed on the top of each of the industry or probably a vertical. So we are actually known for our contributions in the education space as well. And coming to our overall footprint specifically to SAP, we are about 2,700 plus SAP consulting employees. So these consultants are right from the what you call the diamond consultants to down to the junior consultants. So we have a range of consultants with a range of experiences. So we bring this knowledge, or we bring this team when we actually sign a contract with any kind of customer. So the mixed team will come down. So we ensure that there is a balance of energy in that. So obviously there is a need for, let's say if it is an education industry, obviously an education expert who knows the technology and who knows the business pretty much, and then how the admission process works in the education, how the credentials work in the accreditations or the ratings or the gradings, how the examinations are done, and then the typical challenges of the education vertical. They should be aware of it. So we have ample guys who has that expertise, part of the consulting team. And Celsius, especially having expertise on IS, we call it as in the SAP, it's called Industry Solution, Higher Education and Research. It's also known as Student Lifecycle Management. And the Student Lifecycle Management comes with, as you had seen part of the previous conversation, which Yusin mentioned, that it's actually right from the canvassing of a student. Typically when you want to announce the kind of programs you have and you want to reach out to the larger audience across the globe and attract them towards the recruiting of your students. Starting from there, the entire student life cycle till the alumni, including managing the alumni and then getting connected with them, and what are the events that you typically host in the institution or outside the institution, inviting the alumni and make sure that they are actually part of your institution activities, so that your ongoing students or whoever is the current batch of students, they get connected with their seniors who are alumni, and they are in different fields in the outside, and they get connected with that kind of bonding and being the same institute. So till that stage, what I mean to say is that you have a fully integrated platform, so you don't have to really look for different solutions. Obviously what happens is you might be using something for recruitment, and you might be using for something for conducting some kind of examinations, or you have some other solution to extend the digital learning or virtual learning to the students, whatever is available. But end of the day, you will be missing the integrity or the continuous seamless integration or a data flow in the applications. And when you move on to a single platform, which SAP Higher Education offers, it really ensures that you can seamlessly move the business process from one to other aspect. And we are also known for our business consulting, strategy consulting in this education space. So we work with large education institutes, and we actually come and study their existing infrastructure, how they've been supported, the education institute needs, the kind of plans they have, the current plans and the future plans, and then come up with a complete roadmap preparation, how they can leverage whatever the existing investment they made, or let's say they're trying to revamp the whole thing and they want to go on to the new space, really cater and bring a lot of value add, so those kind of with a complete ROI return of investment kind of visibility, we do this strategic consulting and provide the roadmap. So it's not just from a student perspective, but from the organization perspective, or maybe from a faculty or non-teaching faculty perspectives. So counting every stakeholder's roles and responsibilities and how they are bringing what the value to the organization. So ensuring that not only the organization or beyond the organization, pre-recruitment or alumni, post-alumni activities. So it's a kind of platform, and we will bring our services when we prepare a roadmap. So we try to bring up the whole thing and then give the roadmap and also suggest the right kind of technologies and help them to prepare even the the kind of technologies, how it looks like, to what extent they meet their business requirements. So such a kind of depth we work with, education institutes. And some of our clientele list. So we are known for, in the education space, of course, as I mentioned, and some of the great names that we worked, you see, it's only a partial list what you see. It's from the global list. So in Middle East region, of course, we worked with GEMS Education. That's one of the known thing. I don't have to really talk much about GEMS, so everybody knows it. And also we also did the complete S4HANA, the recent S4HANA implementation on industry solution higher education research. So this is for more than 24 institutions, right from the primary school to the higher, the medical school that the organization has it. So they have about 24 institutions and close to 17,000 plus employees, and having about 3,000 employees, which includes the faculty and non-teaching faculty. So we implemented there successfully, and it has been up and running, and the management is already leveraging the benefits of this application. And we also worked with we are working, in fact, right now, Indian Institute of Management, one of the non-management institute based out of Ahmedabad in India, where it is exclusively focused on management. And when you really look at the business world, obviously you will come across some of these alumni guys, because it's known for the management education. And we are right now, we implemented the core modules of SAP IS, and then we are now about to set on to the higher education modules implementation. I think we just started in March of this year. Because of the COVID, the things are going a bit slow, but otherwise we should be able to, I think we will be able to see the go live of this also maybe towards the September. So that's the timeline that we wanted to take live. I am fully in that. And we have so many names to talk about, but I think with the kind of timeline limitation, so I would probably stop over here, giving the back it to the anchor home, so you can probably figure out what are the questions part of this, so we can keep this as a Q&A and then move on. Over to you, Om.
Thank you, Sarath. And thank you, team, for sharing your perspectives on the topic. Thank you, Mayor and Hussein, on this. I'm sure our audience will certainly derive meaningful guidance and thoughts from the discussion, from the sessions, and this will certainly help in getting the better education, better outcomes from the educational institutes. Now, with this, I would take few questions. The first question says, so what are the minimum system requirement to use SAP Litmos? So, Hussein, would you want to answer that?
Yeah. See, Litmos, we only need a browser and an internet connection. So that is all is needed. It is a cloud-based tool. Even the administrator access it through a browser and an internet connection. So that's about it. Now, no additional software or plugins needed.
Right. Thanks. So I see more questions popping in on Litmus. The next question goes by, can instruction-led training, the ILTs, classes be done using SAP Litmus?
Yes, of course. So Litmus, one of the powerful feature is ILT-led classes with an interactive sessions being done with the students. So, and it also has a feedback mechanism as part of the ILT feature. So yes, it is possible via Litmus.
All right. Thanks, Hussein. And there are a couple of other questions which are also on Litmus. Let me club both of them together. Now, first one is this platform, is the Litmus platform an alternative to LMS such as Blackboard or Canvas? And yes, so that's the first question. Let's answer this and then I'll go to the next one.
Yes, it is an alternative. However, it also has the capability, since it is an SAP offering, it also has the feature of integrating with SAP's ecosystem, be it an ERP or any other peripheral systems. So it has got the APIs being or the integration platform readiness, which might not be the case with Blackboard or Canvas.
So you mean to say that it can better integrate with the SAP as because it is from the same family than
Yes.
the Blackboard or Canvas?
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
All right. So there are a few other questions which are on question mark. Now the first one says, does question mark offers auto proctoring and alerts the off-campus proctors?
Yes, it has proctoring features which keeps recording video in real time, and at the end of the session, there is a video analysis being done by the AI of the system, the artificial intelligence that is built in, and it will highlight where is the discrepancy or any noticeable movements in the head, keystrokes, keyboard, or any other noise. So this tool does a lot of things on its own, and there is no additional monitoring needed, when exams are being done.
Okay. All right. Thank you for answering that. Next one says, do I have to download any software for question mark module?
No, it is also a cloud-based solution. So just like Litmos, you need a browser and an internet connection to use question mark solution.
Okay.
Hello, this is Maya here.
Yes.
If I may add regarding the question mark, question mark will have two options also. So if, for example, the institution would like to have their on-premise version of the situation, then they can do that also. So, but it doesn't really need a system requirements, which is out of this world. It's very normal, because it works on mobile devices and works on laptops and even PCs, so it's okay. So there are two options: the cloud option and on the premise option for softwares if you don't want to go with the cloud option.
Well, thank you, Mayor. I mean that really answered the questions. Next, there are a few questions on proctoring. So, what is recorded when a participant takes an assessment with record and review proctoring?
Okay, so I'll answer that. So the tool actually, through the webcam of a computer or laptop, records the video of the student sitting in front of the computer and taking the exam. So it records, it has different parameters in it. One, it records the head movement, the that is on the physical level, eye movement, any external noise. And the other thing it records is your browser, if you're opening multiple tabs, if you're searching something else on the internet during the exam, during that period. So it will club both, and then it will make meaningful results, whether you're really trying to do any tampering during the exam or you've honestly taken it.
Yeah, thanks, Hussain, for answering that. Next one, again on proctoring. So what type of behaviors are monitored with record and review proctoring?
Okay, I think I mentioned, but
sorry. I mean, I repeated the question. So what is recorded when a participant takes an assessment? I guess both the questions are same, so it's already answered.
Yeah.
So I move on to the next question. Are all the standalone solutions be utilized by institutions using other ERPs other than SAP?
Yes, of course. The Litmos question mark are work both ways. It can be used as a standalone solution. If they are using some other ERP, they can use it as a standalone system. Or if they have an SAP ecosystem, it can integrate with them as well. So both options are possible.
Perfect. Yeah.
I think it's irrelevant to the ERP really. Some organizations don't even have ERP, and they're still using question mark, or they're still using Litmos.
Right. Okay. Yes. I'll take a few more questions. So these are on SAP Jam, and then we'll close the Q&A session. Can we use SAP Jam as a portal for students? And I have another subsequent question. Can faculties interact with students using SAP Jam collaboration?
Yeah, let me take that question, Jam. I think Jam is a very collaborative, social collaborative kind of application. So it really facilitate the interaction across the organization or a specific group. Let's say that faculty and students as a group. Let's say there's a group semester wise. You have a group of students and who are supposed to interact based on the subject wise. You can have so many groups created and with so many permutations and combinations and the permissions strictly implemented. So the specific group will be interacting with a specific faculty. So that level of interaction is possible. And it is pretty easy and simple, can be operated on a mobile, laptop, or any kind of tab. So it's very highly user friendly. And also whenever there is some kind of a query is posted, let's say a student has posted some query and it generates a notification. So therefore, the rest of the, let's say 40 odd students in the class, the rest of the 39 students also get to know that, what query is raised and how it is, how it is being answered. So it avoids even the duplication and multiple times of answering to the the students. That is the best way for collaboration. And moreover, the implementation standpoint, this is easy to implement. You can easily implement in less than 6 weeks of time and leverage the benefits of here.
Thank you, Sarath. So with this, we come to an end of question and answer session, and we also come to an end of this webinar session. Okay, and I'm sure that with the points which were covered, our educational institutes and our attendees can be able to take some cue on how to respond to the disruption which is caused by the pandemic and adapt to the situation, and then they can prepare well for the future things, because there is so much of innovation going on and so many solutions are available. Now with this, I invite our practice head Sarath to give a vote of thanks and wrap up the session for today.
Thank you, Om, and thank you all of the participants really taking out time and joining us, and it's pretty interactive, and I see good number of questions being asked. And if there are any further questions, please feel free to write it. I think our team has given the mail ID where you can shoot your questions, and we will be more than glad to interact with you further. And if you leave your comments and your contact details or a mail, we can get in touch and we can have the next level conversations. And also, if you would like to have some system demos and all that, we can facilitate the same. So thank you very much, and I ask everybody to stay safe and stay at home. Take care. Good day.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.